Allie Peterson is suing her neighbor Minnie Adamson in the amount of $6,000 for property damage and emotional distress. The plaintiff says the defendant's son killed her therapy chicken with a pellet gun.
All right, Miss Peterson,
Yes,
you're suing Miss Adamson for $6,000 for property damage and emotional distress.
yes, Your Honor.
And what's your relationship to her?
She's my neighbor.
She's your neighbor. Okay, how long y'all been neighbors, ma'am?
Well, Your Honor, I've lived in my home for 14 years.
Okay.
So I believe she moved in when she was pregnant, so maybe about 8 years ago.
Oh,
I've known
okay.
her.
So were we getting along, or
Absolutely, Your Honor. I thought we were wonderful
you
friends.
socialize together? You take cookies over there and stuff like that? Invite over for a glass of wine, that
I
kind of
really
thing?
love Minnie. She's an amazing woman.
Really? So why are we here? If you love Minnie, y'all couldn't work this out?
Exactly. That's my point, Your Honor. Why are we here? I don't understand this.
Yeah.
I've tried working this out with her, but she just won't take
Minnie,
it seriously.
You did not, Allie. You did not. You really did not.
Your Honor, her son Tucker has problems.
Well,
Really serious
how-
I
problems.
resent this, Your Honor. My son does not have problems, and I resent the fact that she's assuming this.
How old is Tucker?
He's 7 years old.
He's
and
7 years old. Okay. So what's Tucker's problem that you think?
Your Honor, my son's autistic,
Okay.
and like my son's had epileptic seizures in front of
Okay.
Tucker, and Tucker just laughs.
How old is your
No,
son?
no.
Wait, hold on a second. But how old is your son?
My son is 6.5.
Okay, so they're about the same age.
Yes.
Okay, so
Well, you see, my son, we got some therapy animals for him. He couldn't
what's a
have.
therapy animal?
They're
A
they
chicken.
help.
A chicken. You got some chickens?
Yes, Your Honor. My son's
A whole
allergic to
bunch of
cats and
chickens,
dogs.
Your Honor.
Wait, y'all live in a residential neighborhood, though,
We
right?
do.
With
We're working on
single-family
getting
homes
permits.
or what?
We're working on getting permits. It's for support animals because it helps my son
She
no
does
longer.
not have a permit to have these animals on site, Your
The
Honor.
papers are pending.
Well,
We
let me
filed
understand.
for it.
Wait. You got a chicken or some chickens?
I have 6, Your Honor.
6 chickens.
Yes. Well, I had 6. Her
Right.
son Tucker, he killed one of them.
Your son killed one of the chickens, ma'am?
Absolutely not. My son did not do this. They have no proof.
Wait.
I heard the
I'm still trying
gunshots.
to get past the chickens. I mean, I'm just imagining because I live in a neighborhood with single family homes that you
They're
just.
therapy animals, Your Honor.
But what does a chicken do for your therapy? I mean, what can
It's
a
for
chicken?
my son.
But they
6
don't-
chickens? 6?
But wait, I'm still trying to understand what is it about? They're not mammals.
No, they're not. My son's allergic to mammals, Your Honor.
Right.
He doesn't have a
So
poultry.
what does he do with these chickens?
He takes care of them. He has to be really patient with them and
Oh, I
kind.
see. His caring for them is
Yes.
therapeutic. What rabbits or something like that would work?
No, Your Honor, I'm sorry.
Would one chicken be enough, Your Honor?
And why do we have 6 chickens?
Well, Your Honor, I'm trying to teach my son to be independent. I don't know how long I'll be around and my husband will be around to
Right.
take care of him.
Right.
So I'm trying to teach him to be able to live for himself and be able to take care of himself.
Your
Right.
Honor,
So you
listen,
think
I am not a cold person. I do feel for
Right.
her family. They are having trouble with their son.
right? So, well, are the chickens presenting a problem?
Well, there's a lot of clucking going on over there. It's like
Right.
cluck, 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 cluck,
Is
cluck.
there a rooster in the mix?
We did get a rooster, Your
Right.
Honor.
But why did you have to get a rooster? Why did you have to get it? I wonder why some of my neighbors got roosters,
The
okay?
reason,
I live in Miami. I got pictures of the roosters walking down the street. Why did you have to get a rooster?
well, first
And
off,
I thought roosters crowed very early in the morning. This rooster on my street crows at 12 o'clock
we
in the
actually
afternoon.
had its vocal
3
cords
o'clock
cut.
in the afternoon. What's that
We
about?
had the rooster's vocal cords cut, so he doesn't do
Did
that.
anybody shoot that rooster?
But
The rooster on my street?
On your
He
shed?
just suddenly disappeared. But he disappeared. I don't know what happened to him.
He flew the coop?
He flew the coop. You teaching your son responsibility, but you removed the rooster's vocal cord?
we did, so that way it wouldn't be waking the neighbors up. We had
Right.
the vocal cords cut surgically.
Yeah, but it produced 6 other chickens, and I would hear cluck, 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 cluck all night long.
So
And I
that's
don't
why we got
complain.
6 chickens, because you brought a rooster into the mix.
Well, it's 6 total with the rooster.
Okay, but that's why we have all the extra chickens.
Well, no, we have the extra chickens, Your Honor, because one chicken was really helping my son, Harriet. She was
Right.
our first.
Right.
And anyway, we thought that possibly having more might be able to continue to help him.
Right.
You need a permit Your Honor.
Do you have a permit?
We've been working on it. Your
We
Honor.
we've been working on it. We either have a permit or we don't.
It takes a while for the paperwork to go through. They're support animals, is what they're
Uh-huh.
considered by
Right.
the state.
Okay.
So we've been doing a lot of research and we've got figured out how to do it.
So let me hear about the shooting. You said there was a shooting of one of the
yes.
chickens. How did that happen, ma'am?
I don't know. Ask her.
They got their son a pellet gun for
Okay.
his birthday.
The 7-year-old? Why would you give a
Your Honor,
7-year-old a
My
pellet
husband and
gun?
I own a gun shop.
Right.
So I grew up, I'm the baby out of 6. I grew up with brothers. We
Right.
hunted.
But a
we-
7-year-old with a pellet gun?
He's with my husband all the time. They go
Right.
out. It's game hunting. It is a sport. It is
Right.
not meant maliciously
Right.
in any way, shape, or form. If my son was out
The
there
next
with a gun,
thing your son
If my
shoots could be
son-
my son.
no, you have no proof.
Your
There's no way.
son.
No.
Your
Ellie?
Honor, for instance, my son.
I want to hear about the shooting. Did somebody see it?
I was in the kitchen. I was doing the dishes.
In the
Okay.
kitchen,
I
not
heard-
watching the kids.
Right.
I heard the gunshots.
Well,
My
wait a
son-
second. Who's not watching kids if there's a gunshot? Mr. 7-year-old who has a pellet gun. You
Yes.
hear a gunshot and what?
I heard a gunshot and my son is screaming. I run outside and I see her son with the gun. The chickens are bleeding. My son's outside. He starts freaking out. He goes into a seizure. I mean, there was white feathers and blood everywhere. It was horrific.
That is
He
not
has not
my
slept
son.
through the night
No, my
since.
son will
He
not.
has not
No,
slept through the night
No.
since this happened.
My son loves animals. He
Let-
would
let me
never
ask you
hurt
a
He
question.
an
hunts
animal.
with his father. You've already
Never.
Ms.
admitted that.
Adamson?
Coming up on Supreme Justice with Judge Karen.
Your Honor, it's very normal to hear gunshots. We own a gun shop. I'm just not in tune
In a
for
residential
Wait,
neighborhood?
Yes, absolutely.
Lee Peterson, who is suing Minnie Adamson for property damage and emotional distress.
Where were you when all this happened?
I was home cooking dinner.
Okay, so the gun goes off, and then what do you do?
Your Honor, it's very normal to hear gunshots. We own a gun shop. I'm just not in tune
In a
for
residential
Wait,
neighborhood?
Yes, absolutely.
Miss Adamson. So what happened? Did she ever come out?
I don't know what she was doing,
Right,
but
I
I
do.
had to go find her.
Okay.
I had to go find
And
her.
what happened to the pellet gun?
You know, I don't think she's even taken it away from him.
That is so not true. That is locked up in a case right now as we speak.
Okay,
I
I'm
took
going to
that
tell
gun
you,
immediately.
things have got to make sense to me. Your son admitted that he fired the gun.
Yes, he was shooting gun. He shoots all the time. It doesn't
Right.
mean he shot her chicken.
So your
She did
chicken,
not see
your
it.
chicken is dead.
Yes, Your Honor.
And so what's
And
the
two others are injured.
$6,000?
Yes.
How
Well,
much was he worth, the chicken?
It's not just the chicken.
You're suing for property damage, isn't that the chicken?
Well, it's also
Exactly.
for the medical bills
For
my
six-
son
$6,000.
I'm just trying to get to the property damage for the
and
chicken.
emotional damage.
I'm trying to first get with the property damage. You sue for property damage. What?
Yes. The property damage isn't a lot, Your Honor. I mean, that's just for my son's
Okay.
well-being.
Emotional distress. Like what have you noticed with your child since this happened?
He hasn't slept through the night. He's had more seizures than ever. He
Oh,
is
that
going
can't be
freaking
because
out
of me.
every
No.
day.
Your Honor.
He
This
saw
is
his chickens, his best friends, killed in front of him.
Okay, let me just tell you about the law of emotional distress. People like to come in here and tell me about the emotional distress. I'm sure it probably was very distressful what he went through. If I had gone through that, I would have been
He
distressed
can't be
about
around
it.
other kids now.
But I need to hear a doctor tell me that your child is under his or her care, and that as a result of the treatment of your child, this professional has determined that your child is suffering from emotional distress as a direct result of what happened. Is there a doctor waiting to come in and tell me that?
I'm sorry, Your Honor, but I didn't know I needed that.
You didn't come to here with any proof. Is your
I
child?
do have a picture of the eggs that her son also broke. Your Honor.
Are you suing for the eggs?
I mean,
How many eggs were there?
there,
Was there a dozen? They're on sale for $1.99.
it was a nest of eggs.
I mean, I'm
Honestly, you
just
can't
trying to-
count once they're all broken.
Right. You didn't come in here with any evidence. I feel sorry for you and what happened. I mean, I think that she is probably an unfit mother. Maybe you need to report her to the state. If it had been my child under those circumstances, I would have been on the phone with DCF. Okay?
I love my
and
child.
you tell me you care so much about your child. After I dismiss your case today, you need to go out there, pick up your cell phone, and call DCF and let them know about what's going on.
No,
next
I'm
door.
very,
All right,
very
Your
good,
Honor?
Your Honor.
Case
My
dismissed.
child.
Good luck to you both.
All rise.
Judge Karen has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim is denied.
You need to control your son, or I am calling DCFS.
Despite what you or the judge says, I'm a wonderful mother.
And later,
Where's $1,000?